Ay, ay, ay. My dog was playing it, so the levels might be a little off. And this is recording, yes. Okay. This is recording, yes. I only get one shot at this. So here it is. All of last month of July 2025's most salacious headlines. Only here on Breaking News, brought to you by Cocopelli Records.
What's at the center of a black hole?
What's at the center of a black hole?
Scientists have a sobering answer. Scientists have a sobering answer. A meteorite that is the largest known has sold for $5.3 million with taxes and fees to an anonymous bidder at the Sotheby's New York auction Wednesday.
In July,
The astronomer CEO's Coldplay concert fiasco is emblematic of a social media surveillance dystopia.
Mount agrees to pay $16 million to Trump lawsuit over 50 minutes Kamala Harris interview.
18 shot, both fatally, in mass shooting at River North Bar. In a blog post yesterday, CrowdStrike president Mike Sentonas wrote that the company spent the last year resilient to operational issues like the July 19 outage. Many of the improvements CrowdStrike made to its products rely on predicting potential problems rather than responding to incidents once they happen.
It's about creating intelligence that responds dynamically to changing conditions, diverse environments, and evolves.
Sentonas wrote, "Customers now have increased control over what updates and configurations they deploy and when they run them."
Terrified plane passengers write notes to loved ones as Boeing plummets 25,000.
Wealth of Thailand's 50 richest on Forbes list rises over 11% to $170.5 billion. 5 ChatGPT prompts to earn $10,000 a month in passive income.
$10,000 a month in passive income. Ethereum is powering Wall Street's future. The crypto scene at can't show how far it's come. Trump signs one big beautiful bill into law. What that means for your money. Wall Street was expecting a Taco Tuesday, but Dow futures fall 250 points after Trump says he will set tariffs as high as 70%. 18 shot, or fatally, in mass shooting at River North Bar. In a blog post yesterday, CrowdStrike president Mike Sentonas wrote that the company spent the last year focused on making its platform more resilient to operational issues like the July 19th. Many of the improvements CrowdStrike made to its products rely on predicting potential problems rather than It's about creating intelligence that responds dynamically to changing conditions, diverse environments, and evolving threats. Sentinels wrote, customers now have increased control over what updates and configurations they deploy and when they run them. Terrified plane passengers write notes to loved ones as Boeing plummets 25,000 feet in minutes. Wealth of Thailand's 50 richest on Forbes list rises over 11% to $170.5 billion. 5 ChatGPT bombs to $10,000 a month in passive income. Ethereum is powering Wall Street's future. It shows how far it's come. Trump's one big beautiful bill into law.
What it means for your money.
Wall Street was expecting a Taco Tuesday, but then fall 250 points says he will set tariffs as high as 70%. Bombshell research finds the staggering number of scientific papers were AI generated. Hell country flash floods leave as many as 13 dead. More than 20 girls still missing as rescue efforts continue. Unusually large 2,000-year-old shoes in northern England. A space capsule carrying the ashes 160 people, and a stash of cannabis seeds was lost when it crashed into the Gender has broken her silence after best friend Sophie Hutchinson shot death in a quad accident of Wednesday. The former Olympian's confidant killed after she plunged 350 feet down a cliff near the reality star's Malibu home. Unlike details of the party, served the true will of the people in a post on Friday, July 4th, Moss Road. Independence Day is the you want independence from the two-party. Should we create the America Party? Dozens of beaches across the U.S. for July 4th and Syria amid declining crimes reported across the 4th of July weekend this year marked with fatal fireworks incidents, drownings, shootings and burned buildings, things, the flooding, picture moment, dollars real estate tycoon made it, didn't get it, today, work elsewhere, and climb the ranks for 13 years to prove
He's not omnipotent or higher.
Israel continues airstrike after Hamas for
Ceasefire talks.
kids are making deep fakes of each other, and laws aren't keeping up. New Yorkers horrified after feminist erects phallic sculpture that squirts for passers-by. Saturday, July 5th, Elon Musk announced the formation of a new political party called the America Party. U.S. President Donald Trump announced plans to host an ultimate UFC event at the White House to commemorate the nation's 250th birthday next year. 10 shot in Albany. Flamboyant lights building in chaotic scene near Empire State. None of the suspects, all of them are minors, have been brought into custody. Thousands of Buddhists streamed a Hinduism and celebrate the 90th birthday of Obama. Top adult star with 2 vaginas reveals one is for her husband.
For her X-rated career. And the other for her X-rated career. X-rated career.
Death toll in devastating sitting 79. More than 40 remain missing. Michael Madsen, Reservoir Dogs Act.
Governor Katie Hobbs questioned the federal government's handling of the Dragon Bravo fire, which destroyed numerous structures on the north rim of the Grand Canyon Lodge. Officials opted to manage the wildfire, which started the 4th of July as a control
Burn rather than immediately extinguishes.
9 killed, 30 injured in
Massachusetts assist
facility. Death by 2 dogs in backyard attack. California cops say 1 person died as rescuers rushed to multiple calls on NC Beach. Town says U.S. man gets life for beheading father as a political statement and posting video. Pennsylvania man called for fusion of other civil. He displayed severed head. Man attacks bus driver, then is shot dead by another rider. Texas cops say called cops to a park over an incident involving a 2-year-old throwing sand, according to police. The Virginia man charged with stockpiling the largest number of finished explosives in FBI history and accused of making threatening comments. Politicians has pleaded guilty in federal court of an unregistered short barrel rifle. Possession of unregistered destructive devices. Surrogate was horrified. Learned the couple she bore for her 21 children. Kayla Elliott said she thought she was helping a family who could conceive after failed fertility treatments. Instead, she was caught in a web of 61 children who were born to different surrogate mothers. Living in the home of Sylvia Chang, in Arcadia, a suburb northeast of Los Angeles. At least 60 arrested across Canada. Protests related to pesticide action. Olympic ski cross medalist Jordan Groves has died after being struck by lightning. The Norwegian ski Felix the world record for the highest skydive by jumping from the edge of space has died. Motorized paragliding accidentally murder on Rainbow Mountain. Busloads of tourists
Picking him in a parking lot range out of California Costco,
Leaving him with a concussion and dislocated shoulder.
Trump is giving serious consideration to revoking Rosie O'Donnell's U.S. citizenship. She is a threat to humanity. Trump Water Buffalo, he bought a duction just to dairy product. His farm was his dream, and I had the privilege of helping him with it for a little while. Girls, Jennifer Green said in a statement, gathered to see her Ohio bar.
Cops say
Got like 3 words out.
France's prison service said Saturday it had
Launched an investigation after a man escaped by smuggling himself into a cell. He left, having served his sentence. The Kentucky church has gunman opens fire after shooting officer. Michigan thwarted attack on church by ramming truck into shooter. Man's burial for pet guinea pig interrupted when shoots him. Texas cops say a coalition of 20 states sued Trump administration over its decision to shut down a multi-billion-dollar grant program aimed at strengthening infrastructure before natural disasters strike. World's oldest marathon runner died at 114 after being hit by car. The record breaker Fawj Singh, who was known as the Turban Tornado, British rule. 2 people died when flash, submerging floodways and cancelling flights. Former baseball player died saving family from drowning in South Carolina. In Maine, authorities charged with 17-year-old murder of former Sunshine Stewart, who was out on paddleboarding earlier this month. U.S. military cuts climate sirens from vital satellite sea ice data. The air tube that doesn't make your wallet look pregnant is on sale for deals. You can now start celebrating how it's called Summer Week. This year, Disney partnered up with Summerbration. That is so cute. Man using an iPhone spotted in painting from 1937. Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, and J.C. Apple made headlines for taking out multi-million window. Of necessity to reap a couple of key benefits. Kelly Clarkson postponed her Las Vegas residency opening weekend shows just 90 minutes before she was set to hit the stage on Friday, leaving several fans very disappointed. President Trump referred to some lenders as Shylocks and bad people during a Thursday evening speech, using a term the Anti-Defamation League
jury's old anti-Semitic trope.
UPA puts 139 employees on leave after they signed the Declaration of Dissent. DOJ's new memo on investigation into Jeffrey Epstein, a review ordered by President Donald Trump. And the FBI found no evidence that notorious deceased financier
Jeffrey Epstein
can't deny a list of associates who he blackmailed or conspired with dozens of women who married the rich one for financial security or sharing with.
It's like now, and it's a must-read conversation.
Elon Musk calls the U.S. dollar hopeless, said his America Party will waste Bitcoin. Inside
The nasty tearing one of America's richest zip codes apart.
Even the supermodel has been far more
Using to have fewer or no children. Many countries, including the U.S.,
now face a rapidly
aging population that could
begin to shrink. Paramedic jailed for 10 years secretly giving woman abortion drugs during sex. Kansas City Chiefs owner Clark Hunt's family lose 9-year-old girl in floods at Texas summer camp. A United States Coast Guard rescue swimmer from New Jersey is being called a hero after rescuing close to 200 people following flash floods in central
Palestinians out of Gaza.
Israeli reports said
Violence is a weapon of war on October 7th. Attack for this include eyewitness test 17 different incidents of sexual assault, as well
as accounts from
first responders.
forensic evidence. Forensic evidence. Audio.
And visual documents.
The Tony Blair Institute helped form a plan that proposed selling land in Gaza via blockchain tokens. An Italian sniffer dog was killed after eating sausages filled with nails that were thrown into his kennel. His trainer has said immigration agents and
Military greens surrounded MacArthur Park as the convoy readied for a show of force akin to
Hollywood movie, reality TV spectacle.
outrageous federal agents raid LA neighborhood with horses and armored cars. With horses and vehicles.
Carrying rifles and in tactical gear in the middle of what is the heart of immigrant Los Angeles.
But there were few of their supposed targets to be found
Monday.
immigrants without documentation.
Former baseball player dies saving family from drowning in South Carolina in May. Authorities charged a 17-year-old from Frankfurt with the murder of 48-year-old Sunshine Stewart, who was out on a pond paddleboarding earlier this month. Last fluent speaker of ancient Native American language dies at 95. Irreplaceable loss to our heritage. Dad throws his 7-year-old son off cliff to teach him a lesson about faith and fears. Ukraine wing of US-founded terrorist group says it was involved in killing an intelligence officer in Kiev. For months, the base, born and related with a web of cells all over the world, has been offering money to supporters or willing participants for targeted assassinations and attacks on Ukraine, coinciding with allegations that its American founder, Ronaldo Nazario, is a Kremlin spy. Authorities have also been warning in recent weeks of similar Russian intelligence operations covertly paying unknowing citizens to carry out sabotage inside their country. Fox News Jesse News tonight about Trump phone call, but governor isn't dropping lawsuit. See you in court, buddy. Perry Farrell Tuesday. Addiction members over on stage fight. Just hours after they sued him, the Pentagon Tuesday announced that 1,000 National Guard troops will be sent after an unprecedented deployment in Los Angeles area. Trump nation deported immigrants from Cuba,
Jamaica, Laos, Vietnam and Yemen to the tiny
African nation of Eswatini on Tuesday.
The Department of Homeland Security
announced
former government ministers and youth politicians in Muslim majority
Malaysia have slammed a decision to nominate right-wing influencer Nick Adams as U.S. ambassador to the country, calling it an insult to the nation.
Donald Trump announced last week that Nick Adams, a self-proclaimed alpha male,
Have been announced as ambassador to Malaysia, praising him as incredible. Monitor to his anger just as Donald applies pressure on the country to drop criminal charges against swing leader. Georgia has detained two of handling and attempt to sell $3 million worth of uranium, which could have been used to make deadly bomb. The National Security Service said on Thursday, is the United States ready for war? U.S. Civil War reenactors are going into battle against the United Center. Japanese World War II destroyer torpedoed by U.S. on Pacific seafloor, still armed with munitions 80 years later.
victims of first atom bomb will soon be
Nations.
Sunday.
Swansea emerged as one of the winners of Japan's election, walking away with 14 seats. More recently, it has built its platform on a nationalist Japanese first agenda, warning against a silent invasion of foreigners. Public television stations will be forced to make hard decisions in the weeks and months ahead, PBS CEO Paula Gerber said Thursday, after the Senate voted in the middle of the night to approve a bill that cancels federal funding for the network for NPR, with people
Funding cuts will the next
generation be raised. Investigator Dan Rivera with possessed anecdotal.
CEO of SpaceX applied an enraged emoji next to Clowney when he's
LGBT scandal, while it drove at least 59 more to contemplate
suicide. According to the first findings from the public inquiry, has been labeled the worst miscarriage of justice in UK history.
Missing paddleboarder found that during search of pond was killed.
Main clubs say player faith in technology shaken by storm around AI line calling it Wimbledon.
Hopes fade for
Missing Texas victims as death
toll hovers around 100.
U.S. Attorney Janine forfeiture complaint to recover $1,300 in Curry allegedly stolen during a scheme targeting a donor to the Trump man's inaugural committee. Eric Trump to headline Bitcoin Asia 2025 as Hong Kong competes with U.S. to be crypto hub. Federal prosecutors have charged 2 men in connection with a sprawling cryptocurrency investment scheme that defrauded victims out of more than
$650 million.
Chaos in Sleepy Hampton's hamlet as trendy grocery store mobbed by 1%ers. Germany summons Chinese envoy over laser targeting a surveillance plane. North Korea has a new luxury beach resort, but the country isn't open to most tourists. Did the DSS end its shoes off security rule? Here's what travelers should know. A Delta Airlines flight from San Diego was diverted to Texas on Saturday after the passenger began removing clothing and had to be restrained. The BL smell is real, and just as gross as it sounds. Indiana church stands by sermons calling for the government to execute LGBTQ+ people. Shore Foundation Baptist Church leaders said they don't want regular people murdering sodomites, just for the government to do it. IRS moves to allow political engagement from churches in a win for evangelical groups. U.S. court strikes down click to cancel rule designed to make unsubscribing easier. Would have kept businesses from forcing customers through lengthy chats or other barriers to cancellation. Canadian police seize the largest ever weapon. Terrorism inquiry RCMP arrested and charged 4 people who are trying to form an anti-government militia and capture land. What is the Gen Z stare? TikTok millennials are bickering over finger. Girl dramatically real.
What's at the center of a black hole?
What's at the center of a black hole?
Scientists have a sobering answer. Scientists have a sobering answer. A meteorite that is the largest known piece of Mars.
IRS moves to allow political engagement from churches in a win for groups. U.S. court strikes down click to cancel rule designed to make unsubscribing easy. Would have kept businesses from forcing customers through late chats or other barriers to cancellation. Canadian police seize largest ever weapons cache and terrorism inquiry RCMP arrested and charged for form an anti-government militia and capture land. What is the Gen Z stare? TikTok zoomers and millennials are bickering over facial expressions. A girl dramatically reacting to an insect may have caused a stampede that unfolded at an Atlanta metro station as crowds were leaving Beyonce's at least 2 people were to a crowd waiting in line outside an East Hollywood nightclub early Saturday. According to the Los Angeles Fire Department, a Southern California man has been charged for allegedly impersonating a firefighter after officials found a fire truck and other first responder gear at his home. According to the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office, the explosion at Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department facility leaves 3 deputies dead. The cause of the explosion is not known. LA County Sheriff says there's no choice but to authorize warrants for jail inmates. House too hot. Energy bill. Yogurt on your windows can cool your home. Delta is using AI price tickets to charge the most you accept. This AI-based pricing strategy is being tested and the results have been amazingly favorable. Spirit passenger claims she was denied boarding because of her shorts. The airline said it was her behavior. A collection of letters gifted to Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday in 2003 included notes bearing Donald Trump's name and an outline of a naked woman. According to a Wall Street Journal report published Thursday, a drawing depicting a woman's breasts and a Donald's signature in the place of pubic hair surrounded several lines with typewritten text. According to the newspaper, which reviewed the letter, it was produced with happy birthday every day. Footsie Crush. I never wrote a picture in my life. President Donald Trump has publicly denied that he draw
Examples of his sketches have been sold at auction over the years, many dating from his time as a New York real estate developer. Donald Trump once allegedly had a lavender bird party and the male guest was said to have been Jeffrey Epstein. According to the organizer of the event, Jeffrey Epstein's famed attorney dies at 80 just days before Dodge's meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell. Trump administration ends 988 Lifeline special service for LGBTQ plus young people. U.S. committee to ban transgender women from women's sport. Complying with Trump's order. Dog the Ricky Hunter's steps on Gregory's and kills his 13-year-old son in tragic accident. Police in Illinois investigating after they say a woman drowned a 1-year-old boy in Lake Michigan. Missing girl, 9, is found dead after dad. She was snatched away when a white man called County Sheriff's Office. WCSO reporting the possible abduction in the area of 22 in Lake George, upstate New York. As the case progressed west, law enforcement identified inconsistencies in the father events and the timeline he provided. A Delta regional jet on approach to Minot, North Dakota, made an aggressive maneuver to avoid an air collision with a B-52 bomber. According to Delta pilot, Delta flight's engine bursts into flames shortly after takeoff from Los Angeles Airport, 18th of July. Angelina Jolie and Salma Hayek was boarding a Mexico City V. Delta flight forced to hit brakes before takeoff in Mexico City as another jet lands on same runway. Tic-tac dash rocked to learn who was not on his flight after the plane is forced to land due to mechanical malfunction. At least 19 people were killed as a Bangladesh Air Force training aircraft crashed to a college and school campus in the capital city of Dhaka. More than 100 humanitarian area of mass starvation in Gaza. Pope condemns Gaza war's barbarity as 85 reported killed while waiting for food. Pontiff also speaks of anguish over Israeli strike on territory. Only Catholic Church, which kills 3 people. Beef prices are the new egg prices. They are soaring. Area 51 started from same disease after exposure to top secret project. 2 before the waters of the Guadalupe River swelled into a deadly and devastating flood in Kerr County, Texas. Engineers with a California-based company called Rainmaker took off an airplane about 100 miles away and dispersed 70 grams of silver iodide into a cloud. In MS billionaire Rarely is quitting California because it's too difficult to raise kids into business. LA's Museum of Jurassic Technology damaged by fire. Suspect in fatal shooting of Idaho firefighters left note about going into battle. Ex-Marine convicted of killing 3 people released to U.S. in prisoner swap. Rhinebeck owner of La Petite Bistro charged with 2 misdemeanors for brandishing a handgun during a dispute. Say, airport in Italy closed after man is fatally sucked into jet engine on runway. Fueled Crypto City to become $1 billion tourist hub within the resort town of Valley, Idaho. A small group of the world's richest people are meeting together for Allen & Company's annual Sun Valley Conference. The 4-day retreat, known informally as Summer Camp for Billions, full of opportunities for powerful figures to schmooze, network, and make deals. Among this year's cohort are tech tycoons Tim Cook, Sam Altman of OpenAI, and Andy Jassy of Amazon. Bob and Michael Eisner, the current and former CEOs of Disney, respectively, are also in attendance, as well as General Motors CEO Mary Barra. The conference has no shortage of political presence. 2, Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner are both present at the conference this year. Dinosaurs gathered to perform mating things with kicks and spins at this site in Colorado, and you can go see it for yourself. Tweets are coming back to haunt him in a big word. Conspiracy theories about a Texas flood will lead to death threats, disinformation, or weather weapon and cloud seeding is being widely promoted by everyone from anti-government extremists to GOP influencers, leading to real-world consequences. Metadata FBI's Roger Free Epstein prison video was likely modified. There is no evidence the footage was deceptively manipulated, but ambiguities around how the video was processed may further fuel conspiracy theories about Epstein's death. The Trump administration sues California, threatening billions of dollars in education funding over a policy allowing transgender athletes to compete in girls' and women's sports. Jamie Dimon breaks with idiots in Democratic Party, saying they have big hearts and little brains. Elon Musk said the notion that humans
CEO of Moscow Police officials said the victims, an adult male, a 4-year-old girl, and a 7-year-old boy, were swept downstream by the
Unprecedented flooding that occurred in a burn-scarred area from recent wildfires.
Donald Trump toured the state-run camp with Governor Ron DeSantis, RFL, and implied immigrants would be deterred from escaping because nearby alligators would eat them. In the haste to build and promote the facility, including by selling online merchandise, Florida and Trump officials neglected to provide access to attorneys and ensured that the immigrants could be located in with legal representatives to guarantee due process. A pit lion escaped from a farmhouse in Lahore, Johar town, in the Punjab region of Pakistan last Thursday. It jumped a wall and attacked them. 2 children walking through what happened. Mike Lindell's lawyers fined for AI-generated court filing. Jane's addiction sues lead singer Perry Farrell for 10. The Globe public advanced a proposal to state to rename the Kennedy Center's Opera House so that it is First Lady related. Thailand and Cambodia exchanged heavy artillery fire on Friday as the worst fighting in more than a decade stretched for a second day. Despite calls from the region of beyond for an immediate ceasefire in this point, a border conflict that has killed at least 60 people. Funded unsentence $1 million are being sent to France from Belgium to be incinerated after Washington rejected offers from the United Nations and family planning organizations for centers of waste abominations. French President Macron says France will recognize Palestine as a state. Rikers President Illinois firms, including South America, were stopped by police in this announcement ordered to remove the offensive outfits. President Bill Clinton and famous fashion designer Vera Wang are among the celebs who reported it was wrong. Lowest messages every Einstein's 50th birthday. Democratic lawmakers see taxes for homeland security held in clandestine stages. Capitalizing on the anonymity of immigration officials. In a number of cases, criminals have impersonated DHS officers in order to rob or kidnap people or, in one case, sexually assault someone. They also rocky wheelchair bound.
Getting a lot of help from friends.
FKA Twigs drops $10 million abuse lawsuit against ex-Shia LaBeouf. Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi we're bloody moving. List UK farmhouse for $30 million. David Geffen's divorce is getting nasty because his estranged husband is suing him for breach of contract. Armstrong claims they first met on a website seeking arrangements,
And Geffen paid him $10,000
for sex on the first night.
then began treating him as a living social experiment.
Malcolm Jamal Warner was reportedly swimming with his 8-year-old daughter when he
During their Costa
Rica vacation. Sacha Baron Cohen, 53,
reveals jaw dropping body transformation from Marvel's Mephisto supervillain.
Macron's via defamation
Suit against US influencer
Sir Candice Owens
from media stock surges after acquiring
$2 billion of Bitcoin.
Maryland firefighter floods baseball after flyball damages truck. New York City sanctuary under scrutiny after border protection
Officer shot in Manhattan. A New York man federal charges after allegedly making and attempting to use multiple device the explosive device at the parts of Manhattan.
Prosecutors said the 22nd of July.
Kagugan, 55, of Inwood,
New York.
accused.
7 improvised so known as IEDs. According to the U.S. attorney's office for the Southern District of New York,
Prosecutors alleged that Afghanistan,
the IEDs with precursor chemicals used to create explosive mixtures that he had ordered online.
man had traveled 500 miles and sent
£25,000 to his future wife, left in shock and
20 driving to accused oral sex weird reasons. White report, which reportedly banned from JetBlue.
U.S. citizen among Jews,
Family members executed in
Syria's sectarian violence.
The Trump's administration on Monday released over 240,000
Pages of records surrounding the 1968 assassination of the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr.
made despite objections from
Some of the civil rights icons' family. Trump posts fake video of Obama getting arrested while YMCA
play
the village
years to get
the city's National Football League team to change its name to the Commanders. Now, President Donald Trump wants to change it back to the Washington Redskins, a moniker many Native Americans consider offensive and disrespectful.
Oklahoma Supreme Court
Denies income tax exclusion to Native Americans.
what Trump can
And can't do about the Commander's name. RFK Stadium deal with final passage of the deal by the DC Council potentially.
President Donald Trump is
Injecting himself into a DC matter where he has no formal role. An Ibiza hotel and music venue has cancelled its upcoming events after 2 British men died on its premises in incidents. Florida man arrested for threatening to kill everyone on the Epstein client's list. A Texas father who moved family
is sent to
frontline despite having no experience as a soldier and limited understanding of the Russian language. He has been spending near the front line in the war with Ukraine. According to his wife, from Canada to Finland, a U.S. neo-Nazi fight club is rapidly spreading across the globe. Man is trying to establish a whites-only town in America in extremely disturbing developments. Netanyahu speaks out against the NYC mayoral candidate Mamdani. Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath and heavy metal pioneer, dead at 76. Pedro Pascal loved his snack so much he can't eat an entire box. It tastes like caramel, popcorn, childhood, butter. Israeli cruise ship turned away. Island by God. Protest. London gang convicted of kidnapping barber they thought was a Bitcoin billionaire. He wasn't. Not how numbers work. Critics screwed Trump after battling new claim the president bragged about reducing gun. Except his numbers are way off. Human genes beat out. Petition. OpenSEO tells Federal Reserve that entire job getting disappeared due to AI. Meta taking OpenAI $100 million at a time. At least 72 Palestinians killed by Israeli fire in the past 24 hours as Unruh chief said, life without dreams. This camp is a teen's worst nightmare.
Hidden burner phones, hunger strikes, runaways, the director of a digital detox
Program for kids.
bills about how hard it is to tear
Kids away from their devices.
motorcycle influencer
Dies at age 20 in police pursuit. City police officers in northern County on underheat alerts with 12 during triple-digit chargers in South and Midwest. And failing in the US. The United Nations highest report when 6 countries lost their scale into existential threat trade by cooperation. That's an opinion set to determine future
investigation.
Earth is spinning faster, leading timekeeper. Considering unprecedented.
Forward. Used to be the first time pieces in the but disgraced. You're naughty without any context. We just horrible only took a few minutes. Shortly after it went live, however, the post was deleted. The grenade that was taken to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department and it was returned to but the second grenade remains unaccounted for. The sheriff said why did. Military kills 6 new ISIS leader ISIS.
Pro-Spot goes ballistic on a Southwest flight.
Then get as military kills senior ISIS leader in Syria.
Pro-fighter goes ballistic on a Southwest flight, then gets escorted out on a stretcher. That was bullshit. Southwest flight descends 485 with Hawker injured flight attendants. An American Airlines flight was evacuated at Cairns International Airport on 26 July after it suffered a mechanical issue connected to a tire during line said. Social media footage showed moment passengers used emergency slides to escape, with flames seen below the plane was overloaded with moose meat antlers before fatal crash in Nebraska. On Delta Airlines flight from Minneapolis to San Francisco was arrested by federal agents after landing. According to reports, Delta Airlines declined to comment. In USA Today, Coast Guard searches for missing passenger after small plane crashes in California. EasyJet passenger screams dead to from air. Tackled on video.
A new report from the real estate company that is the damage from January's wildfire reached the non-P17 building within the city of Los Angeles. 3 bodies were caught at the Californian coast in Montgomery County after private plane crashes. It's been an abnormally hot summer in much of the eastern half of the United States. For punishing heat domes, sweltering nights, and
NASA sees thousands of employees set to resist the space agency.
a new report from the real estate company Redfin estimates the damage from January's wildfires to reach the non-P17 billion within the Los Angeles. 3 killed bodies were caught at the California coast in Montgomery County after plane crashes. It's been an abnormally hot summer in much of the eastern half of the United States with multiple punishing heat domes, sweltering nights, and
At least 57 killed in Gaza in 24 hours as the doors from cells fire dogs. Republic of Congo. Officials say the token hostages Israeli military attempts rescue. The website victims of the Los Angeles fires. Residents who lost homes left wondering the money went. Quality health advisory has been issued to York City and its surrounding areas because of wildfires and hurricane season warning signs. Brace for the dangers of west. Homes are down. Some are bad. All-time high. Those with equity in a home can more easily. First-time home buyers are still stuck on the sidelines. Goodbye. Santos, the populist former JP Congress, surrendered to prison authorities. Second, arrested after 10 children found sexually abused in Bangalore, the Banner home on July 26, 2025. From the CEO of Christmas non-profit State custody. New York City shooting updates. Turnaround kills 4. Invading police officer in Manhattan skyscraper. Then takes own life. Fourth person dies after shooting Northern Ireland that killed woman and 2 children. 2 children dead after saying food and saw division of Miami Beach. Delta co-pilot reportedly arrested on plane for child sexual abuse materials. Reboots and remakes have 2025 in a chokehold. But am I the only one realizing I don't actually want to relive my childhood? Kraft Heinz, sleep, dinners, and ice cream makers have already recently vowed to shift to natural coloring amid the Trump administration's push to eliminate artificial dyes from the country's food supply, as well as a broader movement by states to ban emblems of safety. Apparently, our brains, even if you didn't catch it.
Arizona patency room from plague. A man working for the U.S. Department of Homeland Security is suing a San Diego police officer accused of beating him in a parking lot range at a California Costco, leaving him with a concussion and a dislocated shoulder. His attorney said, Greg Jackson, 40, from Santa was arrested earlier this week for impersonating a law enforcement officer, specifically using a vehicle outfitted with red and blue emergency lights, and was identifying himself as a bounty hunter. The sheriff's office announced on Tuesday, Idaho man, fugitive dad accused of killing 3 daughters leads to lookalike hiker after case of mistaken identity. Barbara Stone, 71, says she was mentally and physically traumatized when she was handcuffed by ICE agents outside of a San Diego immigration court hearing. Sweden's migration minister shocked by teenage son's far-right activism. Steve Miller finally gets his revenge on LA. Chaotic immigration rate at cannabis farm. 1 worker reportedly dies in fall. At least 31 workers rescued after tunnel collapse in Los Angeles. LAFD. People are going to die. A malnutrition crisis looms in the wake of USAID cuts. Israeli strike kills at least 10 children queuing for medical treatment in Gaza. Doctors at Gaza's largest hospital say crippling fuel shortages have led them to put several premature babies in single incubators as they struggle to keep the newborns alive while Israel presses with its military campaign. Strapped to donkey killing soldier and wounding 2 others in Colombia. Child's dire alert to police. Daddy just shot mom and granddad. PA cops said mom shoots and kills dad sitting in car with their child. Missouri officials say there is stuff doesn't happen here. Murdered paddle order sparked works concern in small town. Fire and M services successfully rescued a child who had become trapped inside the popular claw machine arcade game at the Mason Community Center in Mason, Ohio, roughly 25 miles northeast of Cincinnati, according to police report and surveillance footage taken from the location. DHS used an anonymous pro-Israel site to target for deportation settlers beat to death U.S. citizen in West Bank. Advocates call on the Trump administration to ensure accountability for the killing of Saif al-Muslim. Federal judge issues a new nationwide block against Trump's order seeking to birthright citizenship. Denaturalized citizens forced to exit. Can't escape exit tax. Made a mistake calling Superman an immigrant and it's going to hurt the box walkers. How woke is Hollywood to make this kisser? Dave Portnoy vows not to see new Superman movie for one reason. Yes, Superman is an immigrant. He's also a gay icon. Stellan Skarsgård has weighed in on famed director Ingmar Bergman's Nazi sympathies as a young adult. Elon Musk has sought to explain how his artificial intelligence, AI, firms chatbot, Grok, praise Hitler. Grok was too compliant to user prompts. Musk wrote on X to please be manipulated. That is being addressed. Longtime Washington Post columnist quits paper. Slams growing editorial constraints under Bezos. Jeff Bezos sells $666 million in Amazon stock as part of his 25 million shares. Social Security answer overload phone line. The age serves 73 million beneficiaries. Has struggled to improve customer service amid cutbacks, long wait times, and a crashing website. The State Department began hiring more than 1,350 U.S.-based employees on Friday as the administration of President Donald Trump presses ahead with unprecedented overhaul of its diplomatic corps. A move critics say will undermine U.S. ability to defend and promote U.S. interests abroad. Trump to tour Texas flood disaster tests vow to shutter FEMA. Since disaster that has at least 120 people has remained quiet about promises to Rex Relief Agency. Meet the Robo Bunny. This tiny furry robot is taking pythons in Florida. U.S. Army deploys plastic coyotes attached to mini four-wheelers. Drone pilot rescue of missing population time as coyote attacks. Appeals court lets Pentagon back out of 9/11 days. The police would have eliminated death sentences for 3 alleged 9/11 plotters. Morgan Chase boss Jamie Dimon did not pull his punches when he spoke at Ireland's Department of Foreign Affairs. You're losing, he said of European competitiveness with the U.S. and Asia, in comments reported by the Financial Times. Europe has gone from 90% U.S. GDP to 65% over 10 or 15 years. That's not good. A luxurious ranch you can charter for $76,000 a week in flames in Saint-Tropez. Americans are buying up €1 homes in Europe to escape the broken economy. Isn't needed. But it's not all Dolce Vita. An international human trafficking crackdown has led to more than 50 arrests and the identification of more than 1,000 victims. The 6-day operation, which took place at the start of June, involved nearly 15,000 officers from 43 countries across Europe, Asia, Africa, and South America. According to Interpol, Nigeria will not bow to pressure from the Trump administration to accept Venezuelan deportees or third country prisoners from the U.S. Foreign Minister Yusuf Tugger has vowed, quoting 1990s American rapper's Public Enemy to make his point. The line from Flavor Flav, a member of the group, who said, Flavor Flav has problems of his own. I can't do nothing for you.
He said in an interview with privately owned channels TV.
We have over 230 million people, the minister said. Son of El Papo pleads guilty in U.S. drug trafficking case. Jane Wu, the Chinese-American neuroscientist at Northwestern Lab, was abruptly 2024.
Following a government investigation into her research activities and ties to China,
Was never charged.
and she died by suicide at
60 years old just months later. There are new concerns over hyperbaric chambers after an Arizona physical therapist was killed fire while inside his clinic's own chamber. According to the local fire department, the fire and circumstances are still under investigation. The Securities and Exchange Commission in Georgia officials are investigating a Georgia businessman and Porter accused of perpetrating a Ponzi scheme, defrauding on pilot as harrowing rescue of missing pup just in time as the attacks. Appeals court let the Pentagon back out of 9/11 plea deals. The plea deals would have death sentences for 3 alleged 9/11
plotters. They have over 230 watched.
Gaza has jarred of children and starving people. Way out. Their choice is between 2 deaths, starvation, or being shot at.
Bernie Sanders
Reveals the AI doomsday scenario scenario that worries top experts. I felt pure, unconditional love. Chatbits, the users of AI Companion app Replica found themselves falling for their digital friends. Until explains a new podcast, the bots went dark. The user was encouraged to kill Queen Elizabeth II.
Update changed everything.
Seinfeld writer recalls working with Kanye West pre-Kardashians. He was sweet, funny, self-aware. Comedy writer Larry Charles says that Kanye West they met when they almost worked on a project together. With a sweetheart and showed no signs of endorsing Nazism. Military jets. Mysterious collision raises questions about what advanced UFOs in U.S. airspace. Been here all along. Emergency teams respond to plane collision at South End Airport. 1,500 tarantulas found stuffed in sponge cake boxes at German airport.
Diddy makes desperate attempt to taste freedom by offering 50 M bail package. Beyonce and Jay-Z just took out a massive mortgage on SATJ of Los Angeles. Package be kinda so have quarters and yet no patches with fuck me like how they you 88 death depression. North Korea breaks silence on Trump's return. Sends message from Rocket Man. Never had a relationship between President Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un are not bad, but added how they will view any attempt to pressure North Korea breaks silence on Trump's return. Send message from Rocket Man. Had to thank me exes, but next net. Time with y'all entertain. You're so fast, it actually ahead you ain't a man. Breathe into town, maybe it's bad. You ain't attempt to pressure North Korea to the nuclear resides is nothing but a mockery. Ain't headed shell and temple in China hunts invasion. Suspicion of embezzlement. Open Asian set. Rep 10 portrait majesty. Targeting embezzlement. Then we don't have anything to worry about.
The U.S. has resumed military supplies to Ukraine. President Volodymyr Zelensky has said, after watching shipments of critical arms last week, U.S. President Donald Trump told NBC News on Thursday that he had made a deal with NATO for the U.S. to send Patriot air defense systems to Ukraine via the alliance. After a surge of Russian aerial attacks, AI chatbot Grok, which is used by Elon Musk's artificial intelligence company, issued an apology a day after made new Semitic post on X this week after an update. Elon turns his aim by flirting a friend. The Defense Department will begin using Grok, which has a $200 million ceiling. Details new project ideas including critical costs and custom AI-powered applications to accelerate use cases in healthcare, fundamental science, and national security. Google's Gemini AI out of a chess match against a 46-year-old Atari 2600 engine after suffering a crisis of confidence. Canceling the match is likely the most efficient
And sensible distribution.
Zuckerberg will build a data center the size and latest. Former cop convicted of excessive force and Breonna Taylor case gets 33 months Monday, the 21st of July. Two men charged in NYC crypto torture case released on $1 million bail each. Gen Z men with college degrees now have the same unemployment rate as non-grads. The higher education payoff is dead. Bermuda said Tuesday that four U.S. cruise ship passengers who are accused of possessing drugs and intending to distribute them on the island. Colombia agrees to pay $200 million to restore funding cut by Trump administration Thursday, the 24th of July. AI-generated songs have been uploaded to dead artist pages on Spotify, helped by bombs he planned to detonate in Manhattan. Officials say Michael Gatt built 7 homemade bombs with the aid of the president buying gunpowder. Documents. Sweeping cyber attack breached the U.S. National Nuclear Security Administration. NSA. Microsoft software. The energy and a woman. Making 4 nurses from other states have used around 20 since 2020 has been arrested and charged with dozens of counts. Said an allegedly intoxicated female Delta pilot was after failing a random breath test as she prepared to take off, according to reports. The pilot, who is US-based, was taken into custody. Was about to fly a transatlantic non-stop flight to New York's John F. Kennedy. Pilot ejects due to the basis for much of the United States climate change regulations. Scientists will melt the world's oldest ice to reveal its secrets and uncover a climate record of
1.5 million years.
It's unbelievably hot.
Iran shuts down capital amid extreme heat Thursday. The night.
100 million to swelter daily in mass U.S. heat dome. Athens is reviving a 2,000-year-old Roman aqueduct to deliver water to the city amid prolonged droughts. Red margin retailer green. Agar. Voice learned Thursday about President Trump's push to build out artificial intelligence AI infrastructure. Warning about the massive water usage of data sensors. FEMA's Urban Rescue Branch, which runs a network of teams stationed across the country that can swiftly respond to disasters, resigned on Monday. NASA warns cancelled next after Jacob Chansley, better known as the QAnon shaman, denounced the Margarita warning, responding to a post at Trump's 2023 mugshot by decrying the president as a fraud. Fuck this stupid piece of shit. Chansley wrote in a mugshot by decrying the president as a fraud. Fuck this stupid piece of shit. Chansley wrote in the Saints deleted post. Millionaire father of 3 trampled to death by elephant at his own private game reserve in South Africa. 3 trampled to death by elephant at his own Chansley Saints deleted post. Millionaire father of 3 trampled to death by elephant at his own game reserve in South Africa. The man charged with 2 counts of murder in the shooting deaths of longtime American Idol supervisor Robin Kay and her husband, musician Thomas D. Luca, used the young couple's gun against them and then called authorities on his cell phone. The Los Angeles County District Attorney has alleged RFK Jr. to remove preservatives members from all U.S. vaccines. Bounce legend Big Freeze going on. I never heard or doesn't of gay folks. Loves us all. Louisiana Senator John Kennedy appeared to have mental episode live on Larry Kudlow's Fox Business show Tuesday. Another entry to the law, the partisan list of alarming life designed to short season.
But everybody else thinks everybody else.
Kennedy,
73.
before trailing off,
You can see it in his face.
his eyes and mouth
Particularly.
as he struggles to remember what he meant to say all where he is before ultimately giving up and freezing.